Hello and welcome folks to another Bruce Tuesday deck, and yes, it is back, the one and only Astral Wrenn. If you're not familiar with this deck, this is a brew I put together a long time ago, and well, it got to a point where it was just not even a joke. It was just terrible. It was completely unable to keep up with all the Euro decks and all of that nonsense. It could never beat the aggressive decks either. It was just overall a terrible mess. But we finally, after all of the bannings and whatnot, may be in a situation where the modern metagame is okay enough for Astral Wrenn to make a comeback. Of course, the main combo here is Red and 6. You know Wrenn, you love him, you hate him, whatever it is. Them, I guess, because it's 2. Then we have Astral Drift. Astral Drift is basically a strictly better version of Astral Slide, a card from way back in the day. Whenever you cycle this card or any card, you exile a creature. If you do, return that creature to the battlefield and at the beginning of the next end step. So what you do is you use cycling lands, of course. Tranquil Thicket, Forgotten Gate. You draw a bazillion cards, and then you use a lot of cards with ETB abilities, be it Eternal Witness, Wall of Blossoms, Renegade Rallier, Huntmaster, and then Thrugtusk and Deep Forest Hermit. Yes, this is a new one. This is a nice little spicy little number. So you blink all of your thingies, and then you eventually outgrind your opponent by drawing a bazillion cards, getting a ton of value, rebuying Lightning Helixes and Path to Exiles, and you get a nice little combo with Containment Priest. So with Containment Priest in play, you exile your opponent's creatures, and then they never come back. So it's pretty sweet. I stopped playing this deck in part because the Containment Priest interaction, even though it's really powerful, it's been bugged in Magic Online forever. So what happens, what's supposed to happen is you should be able to like exile your priest and then all of your nonsense, and then you should be able to stack the triggers, the Astral Drift triggers at your end, the end step, in order to make sure that, you know, your creature comes back into play, and then the priest comes back into play, and then your opponent's creatures come back into play. So by doing that, you make sure that you are exiling your opponent's creatures for good, while at the same time you are getting value from your creatures still. Magic Online doesn't allow you to do that because it's a bug. It's a known bug, and it's been a known bug for like a year at this point, because like it's been a year since this card's been around. So basically, it's been a bug forever, and Magic Online doesn't seem to want to fix it. So we're gonna see if that comes up. It did come up multiple times for me before, so hopefully it doesn't come up during this league. But like, the deck is just too much fun not to be throwing tickets down the drain with. So hopefully you like it, and yeah, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you do. So I'll see you later for round number 1. Here we are with round number 1 with Astral Wrenn. This is what we call a sneak. We got the engine going already. We can cycle on turn 1. What else could we want? Oh, a Thrag Daddy. That's what we could want. Hell yeah. Whew. Sand is fire. This hand is fire. Tapped Overgrown Tomb. I need to take a look at the mana base, because I did change the mana base recently. Yeah, we're not playing the Croxa. Am I being in the Thrag Daddy? I guess I should have cycled before this. I'm just gonna be in the Helix. Get Stomping Ground, Cycle Thicket. Don't mind if I do. Forest. Give me that thick thicket, baby. Give me that thick thicket. Because of the damage, I don't know if my opponent's playing a deck with Scourge, and the Lightning Helixes would allow me to keep up with the life because of Scourge. But if I bean a land, then we are not. So I thought it made sense there. Also, I do want to hit my land drops, and if my opponent has an answer to Wrenn, then I may not. This seems fine, though. Just gonna hard cast this Astral. Nobody plays Decay anymore. I think that getting my engine going is going to be more valuable. Like, this engine is messed up, Marcus. This engine is messed up. Like, my opponent can never do anything ever again. Even if they get to answer my Wrenn. Sure. That's fine. So next turn we're gonna start cycling Thragtusks. Sergio. 22 lessons on how to cast Colossal Dreadmaw. That's what we're here for, my friend. That's what we're here for. I think I'm just gonna cycle here. Because we might find... we didn't. We're playing against straight up John, so... Liliana, probably. Hard cast Bone Crusher. Okay. Birds of Paradise. So what I can do here is I can take 8. Or I can play Throg Daddy. It's just too much. It's just too mana efficient to play Thragtusk here. If they have Liliana, it's a little bit annoying, but if they don't have Lily, then we like Thragtusk plus infinite tokens just wins. All right, thank you, Marcus. I'll trade with Bone Crusher. Oh, good thing I didn't play the bird. So I'm looking to find Eternal Witness here. That's my best pickup here. Interesting. I can also find so this exiles two things. I care about Liliana. So now they can get back Croxa. The other guy would have also been great. Containment Priest would have obviously been incredible. What else? We had many good top decks there. Unfortunately for us, we didn't find any, but they can get back Croxa here. Opponent swings. I'll take it. So they get back Croxa, and I'm just gonna path it, I think. I'm gonna pitch this bird. But I don't want to cycle Astral just yet, because if we find like an Eternal Witness or something, I'm gonna want to hold on to this Astral Drift. Fulminate Charm set pick 2. Oh yeah. No, it would actually be good, and that's the problem. So that makes every cycling card better. But it doesn't draw me a card. Do I still play Amulet? Yeah, all the time. But I play other stuff as well. Man, it's pretty unfortunate. I think I'm gonna have to pass, because I have to cycle this. Like, I don't have enough cards in hand. Wait, what happened? You have to be kidding me. Is it bugged? Oh my god, are you kidding me? I was supposed to get one cycle, one exile from cycling the drift, and one exile from the drift that I have in play. Oh my god, this is so disheartening. No, I only got to choose once. I was only given one option to choose. I didn't double target. I only had one exile trigger. I guess I'm trying it again. All right, so I'm trying it again. So we're gonna have this come back, and then we're gonna see this again. Cycling. I only have one exile trigger that goes on the stack, and I'm not given a second. I'm not given a second exile trigger. Yeah, it's bugged. Fuck, man, really? I get two because I have one in play, and I also have the one from the Astral itself. Oh, come on. You have to be kidding me, man. I'm already playing an underpowered deck, and you're making it even more underpowered. This really sucks. Aw, man. Damn it. That makes me so sad. So triggers are gonna go on the stack, which again I can't choose. So clearly it's still bugged. And two goifs never come back. Astral is too broken, they had to fix it. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. We're happily gonna send a Wall of Blossom under the bus here. This is no big deal. Living the dream? I mean, we're living a bug dream, I guess. Let's actually hold on to those green menaces. Well, that's fire. Even though my deck is literally bugged. My deck is actually bugged. Still turning the corner. Let's go. Astral Wrenn confirmed OP. Opponent can't keep up. Opponent can't keep up. The power of Astral Wrenn is too strong. Jund? Not good enough. Not good enough. And again, here we should be able to choose the order in which we stack our triggers. So if we wanted to get value, because we had two cycling lands there, if we wanted to get value, we could have like cycled, targeted this, cycled, targeted this. And then on end step, we should be able to make sure that the Wall of Blossoms comes back first, and then the Containment Priest comes back. So what that would do is that would make it so we get to draw the extra card. And we get to, you know, continue getting ahead. Pastrata, thank you for the follow. But yeah, like, I guess that Astral Wrenn is so busted, it's bugged in multiple ways. Winning through multiple bugs. Astral Wrenn is that good. Let's get these birds out of my deck. Imagine playing Jund in an Astral Wrenn meta. Yeah, so Dark PCK, that I just explained why I can't cycle for a card because of Containment Priest. Cycling Astral Drive itself doesn't work, so yeah, but like it's supposed to be one of the upsides, right? Like I'm supposed to be able to do it. Like that's what the freaking deck is supposed to do. And instead, I have to like play around not only one. I already knew that there was one bug that I was going to play through, and now I realize that there's actually two. No, this is a two-sided effect. This applies for everything. So now I know that I have to be playing through two different bugs. Both of which are backbreaking, by the way. Both of which are unnecessarily tough to beat. God damn it. How about of decks are you willing to go for those Dono days? If you'd be interested in taking spell sheet for a spin out Dono. It's been a solid 2-3-3-2 lately for me. I mean, I have if you look at the donation thingy, I'm doing $15 for real decks and then $20 for meme decks. So if I'm gonna be losing tickets, I'm at least taking some more of your money. MTGO theory on fixing the bug is by sending another bug. Yeah, but they didn't fix the other bug, so. Euro qualifies as a meme, I'd accept that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know, like usually people who make the dono, they know whether we're talking about a meme or not. I guess I'm not sure if I want to cycle Tranquil Thicket anymore. I guess I am going to now, but this might definitely backfire. Never mind, I'm a genius. And now we can Eternal Witness back the Wrenn next turn. We can Containment Priest. My opponent's probably going to use a removal on it, which is great. We can also purge something if we feel like we need to. So what are the bugs? If there's an Astral Slide in play and you cycle, you're Wrenn on 6. If you cycle another Astral Drift, you don't get 2 triggers like you're supposed to. You only get the 1. So that's one of the bugs. Am I playing Containment Priest here? I think so. My opponent gets to K command it, but like I honestly don't care, so. Oh, thank you, Gimpochi. Appreciate it. Discard the card. I'm just gonna pitch this Lightning Helix. Yeah. I guess I just have to do this right now, even though I drew the Veil because... Wow, my opponent really opened themselves up to Veil and I wasn't able to punish them. Oh, that's disgusting. Ugh. Gross. They get to pink here. I mean, I do get to burst this, which is nice, but... Taking a turn off of Wrenn. If I had a fetch land, I would have probably played the Wrenn there, but... Spellshift has had a bug for the past year, a handful of upvotes, etc. I've gotten over 100 elite come from the bug. Unless you refuse to acknowledge its existence, which to be fair, if they had fixed Astral Drift, they're probably not fixing Spellshift, yeah. I have pretty much lost all hope at this point. Fetch land would be nice. Ooh, okay. Missing land drops here in the 26 land deck since it's rough, but it's fine. How are the games going? So far so good. They take the purge. Makes sense. So I can't deal with it back. I imagine they go after the Wrenn? Yeah, that makes sense. Please play another Colonies command. Lightning Bolt. Womp womp. That actually kind of sucks. In fact, maybe I should have let that go. If I let that go, what happens? Yeah, maybe letting that go would have been better. Really wish I had access to a Helix now. I mean, Purge is my best draw anyway. We get to play the Deep Forest Hermit here, though, which is nice. Wall of Blossoms. Squirrels. We'll lose to Bolt. I didn't fetch, so I don't lose to Call Against Command, which is nice. If we find the Thrug Daddy or Thrug Daddy would be great. Sure. So I'm losing this game, so I'm just going to test whether the bug actually, yeah, so okay. So the bug is that Astral Drift doesn't trigger when you cycle itself. Okay, now we know what the bug is. Why are we playing this? Because it's a brewer. It's, yeah, I know, I'm not sure that we need an explanation. That's a really big deal, by the way. That's actually a huge deal. That's a ridiculously huge deal. Where's the scale? The scale is in the description below, if you're watching on Twitch. It's basically Monday through Friday, starting at 11 a.m. PST, with the exception of Tuesday, when I start. That's when we record Titan Talk, so it's like whenever we're done with Titan Talk, that's when I start. If there was ever a day to jam a bad combo deck and just pray it works out, surely it would be St. Patrick's Day, right? I mean, I wouldn't consider this a combo deck. This is just this is an engine. This is not really a combo. Good to know that I'm literally the only person in the world right now jamming Astral Drift in modern leagues, and that my card is just bugged. Feels bad. Feels bad. You asking for yourself, gonna do later? Sounds good. That sounds reasonable to me. Been trying to make Astral Drift work for a long time. Have I considered a band? Well, there's Wrenn in 6, so this is the build that has worked the best. I've also tried this. This is interesting. This is definitely worse than the other version, because you have no real, like, Eternal Witness is your only engine. Otherwise, you're just always hoping to draw. And that's not really where you want to be. You want to, you know, just draw. Just know that you're drawing what you need. Please discard me. Yep. It's got a Temple Garden. It's Veil of Summer. I guess I'd rather put it here, and I'm gonna name red. Good to take my Astral Rift here. There is Loam as well. Yeah, but Loam requires you to use mana every turn. Wrenn does not. Drake Haven just feels unnecessary. I do like Coin Oracle for sure. Not so sure about Growth Spiral. I do like Coin Oracle for sure. And like the other one just feels unnecessary to me. Because I'm just getting a tapped Sacred Foundry. Like I just don't want to take unnecessary damage here. Another Willow Blossoms. I guess I could have laid on that, right? Anyway. Yeah, there is MTG bot. At least there should be. Ashiok. Okay. Opponent did a minus? What? Hell yeah, Jakey Torborg with the donation. Who's ready for the meme-est? Thank you for the dono there. Jakey Torborg, appreciate it. Let's take this to 1-4 or a 4-1. I can seep you through how it works. You haven't seen it. Spike bladed. Alright. Yeah, you got my land. I mean, they took my Helix, but like they left my Thragtusk alive. Do you have Bolt, opponent? You don't. No, they do. Okay. Oops, I misclicked. That's brutal. That is absolutely devastating that I misclicked there. Wow, that really sucks. Missed the land drop, missed the ping with the Wrenn. That's probably game losing right there. Game losing misclick. Pretty sucks. I wonder if my opponent's gonna mill themselves. They probably should, honestly. You have another bolt? No bolt. Guess I'm gonna hold on to the mountain in case my opponent has Liliana, because otherwise I get the Liliana plus and they get rid of my Wrenn. And now we're Gucci. When are we going? When do you normally play decks? The Dono deck lists. I was gonna do. I already have some Dono deck lists in the queue as it is, Jakey Torbor. So I was gonna play 3 Dono deck lists tomorrow. So maybe yours will be left for the following week. Cycleland. We're both drawing nonsense. Whenever would be dope. All right, sweet. If you have a preferred date, you can just let me know what that date is, and I'll try to make it work. So that was their top deck, obviously, because otherwise they would have done that last turn. Just gonna keep on doing this thing, I guess. What am I playing tomorrow? We have Dredge, we have an Ursa list, and we have a Mardu Pyromancer list. Going after the Wrenn. Wow. Okay, so I guess we're just drawing more lands. Yeah, there were some lists with Gingerbread House. Yeah, I'm gonna let the Wrenn take a bunch here. 3 Friars with the tier 1 sub. Welcome back, 3 Friars, to the Primetime Stronghold. Appreciate it. Cycle Land, please. Path to Exile. Okay. I think I may be actually out of basics here. We have 1 more basic forest. We have 2 to fetch here, and we have 1 more basic forest after that. See how my opponent attacks. If they attack both at the Wrenn, I'm just gonna have Wrenn die. I have to Luria West in the list. Yeah, that sounds very smart. A little bit too smart for my taste. I mean, we have 8 cycle lands. Why are they tapping so much mana? Tassiger! Holy fuck! That's a card that I am not seeing in... Wow. Tassiger. Well, I guess I'm giving them an Inquisition because the other things are just terrible for me, so... Sean W. Bruno, thank you so much for the what's up. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. Last fetchable. No more fetchable cards in the deck. That's good. Yep, that's a good one. Thrag Daddy, right? I mean, I would get Astral Drift, but Astral Drift is bugged, so there's no use to getting it because it wouldn't do anything. Oh, MTGO. Oh, MTGO. Aren't you lovely? If you cycle it, if you cycle Astral Drift, you don't get the value. Like, you don't get the exile. Like, you're supposed to get the value when you cycle and whenever you have the thing in play. This Tassigor is owning me. Have a Blood Red Elf, I guess. They're gonna Blood Red into Lightning Bolt, and I'm gonna feel very silly, but like Blood Red at least gets blanked by the Willow Blossom, so they're just getting like one spin effectively. Here's the link, Levi. Inquisition is great because now that's actually something that I can give them to the Tassigor. So it all worked out in the end. And we know that they have a... So where it says F Publish, of course you don't put F Publish and you put like whatever your Moto username is. Yeah, block with my wall. That has to be game, right? Now we're good to go. Just gonna cycle right now. It's bad against another Ashiok, but it's not very likely for my opponent to have another Ashiok. And I have infinite mana, so... I'll trade. Yep. Joke's on you, opponent. My head sucks. Astral? That's what the kids call Pog, right? That's what that is. Seismic Assault on Live from the Loam? Yeah, that would be hot. Sure. It's not a bad Wrenn, honestly. Like, it just gets rid of the Eternal Witness. Like, I could technically cycle and try to save this. I guess I have two Containment Priests, so it just doesn't work. Never mind. Yeah, opponent can't really attack. Second Huntmaster. So they block here. So I guess it's better for us to just pass. And then my opponent has to play a spell or they lose to the Huntmasters. And they're also losing to my onboard Wrenn. Oh, they found another Wrenn. But we can flip, yeah, we can just flip both Handmasters by doing nothing. Okay, so sweet. We're just playing an extremely bugged deck. Still doesn't matter. Still managed to beat Jund. Out-Jund the Jund, like the kids say. And we were drawing Astral, which was gonna be game over. Good stuff. See you for round number 2. Welcome to round number 2. We're playing against Glaciana, which very often plays mono green Tron, which Tron is our worst matchup. Our actual worst matchup is pretty much unbeatable because we are a super slow deck and like we are, you know, we are a grindy deck, and all the angles in which we can grind, Tron just simply doesn't care about. So terrible matchup. But we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna need bread here. This 0-4 against the Tron deck. Not where you wanna be. Not where you wanna be. We do have tools in the sideboard. We have Magus and we have... In fact, this is one of the reasons why I have Magus. Oblivion Stone. Well, we can't really beat that, so... Guess I'm gonna play for a bit more, but... Like, I'm not drawing towards anything here. I'm not really drawing towards anything. Hey. We get to ping for 2. Pinging for 2 is not bad. Swing for 6. Let's go. Would a Chrome to Dust in the side be worth it for this matchup if this matchup is that bad? I don't think Tron is that popular, honestly. I think I'm just gonna fetch with Renegade Rallier. Maybe I should have played a wall. Like, the wall is obviously not doing anything, and I'm getting cracked on end step anyway, so... No, Oof is just not very good, I don't think. If they play like a big card, I'm just gonna pack it in. Wormcoil. Well, Wormcoil is like the thing that we can potentially beat, even though it's not very likely. Path. Containment Priest. Truck Daddy, probably not gonna be enough. What'd you get for me? Big Ballista. I guess like it just doesn't matter. I just cannot beat anything that they're gonna get, so. Okay, so Damping Spheres, Magus of the Moon, and Night of Autumn, I guess. These can go. I guess Helix is kind of fine. Night of Autumn. Yeah, I just don't think it's worth it, right? Like, how many cyber slots would we need in order to make Tron a reasonable matchup? It's just too many. It's just not worth it. I'm playing cards that I'm excited to bring in other matchups, like Magus against Amulet and like stuff like that. So I'm bringing that kind of stuff, but yeah, like for example, with a hand like this, I'm gonna throw that one back. Now the question is, how do I sequence? Because I definitely need, I'm gonna need basics, right? Like I'm not gonna be able to cast this Magus. I'm gonna need basics, so they move to 5. I think I'm just gonna cycle. And I'm gonna cycle the Forgotten Cave. Okay. Fetch is sick. So now we get a forest, we get to slam this Wrenn. We probably get back to fetch land here because we're interested in fetching again. And then we can probably Damping Sphere. I guess, huh? Do we Damp Sphere or do I Magus? I guess they have double colorless, so I'm just gonna Damping Sphere here. If my opponent plays Soulstone, we can knight it. The reasoning for playing Magus was to, there we go. All right, so super rewarded for my decision. Now we get to fetch 4 planes. 1, 2, 3. We get to Magus. We get to plus on Thicket. We get to cycle on end step. We're actually looking fine here. And if my opponent plays Soulstone, they're not gonna be able to like make it to 8 mana to play it and crack it immediately. So we're gonna be able to use Night of Autumn, yeah, to blow it up. Oops, 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 oops. I have 6th. Yikes. Night of Autumn. Blow that shit up. Opponent packs it in. Awesome. That's kind of sick. that hand lined up exactly perfectly. Can we do that again, chat? Can we figure a way to do that again, please? Because that would be a way to beat Tron. Same plan. Just do exactly what just happened. Laxac into the perfect draw step every single turn. This one is... Now, this one's not as good as the last one. Let's ship this. Much better. Awesome. Gonna ship the Containment Priest. Exact same plan as last time. Beautiful. So we're gonna play this tapped on 1. I think it's bad if we find exactly another fetch. We're gonna have 2 basic forests and a basic plains. That seems like enough for us to function fairly easily. So hot. Let's get cooking. And now we need to let's find a cycle land, okay? Let's find a cycle land. Let's find the cycle land at the top. Another Wrenn. Unlucky. I would say that was unlucky. I think I'm just gonna go with Damping Sphere here. Found Ursa's Mine, and they played it. Put Giganta in hand. Funnily enough, Giganta is kind of good here. Like, they can just like hard cast the Giganta and it would be pretty annoying for us. Yep. Just the random stupid 5/5, it's kind of, that's it. It's kind of problematic. Okay. Just make it 4/3, I guess. I think we're just double blocking. Like, we can't answer it otherwise, right? If my opponent has this member, they have this member, but we have Ewit to get the Magus back. This is bad if they play Baby Karn, because if they play Baby Karn, okay, that's good. Magus number 2. Pachiani21, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to first time subscriber. Appreciate your support. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Let's do Temple Garden untapped. And we have still the Damping Sphere in place. So I'm just gonna Emblem. Let's get that out of the way. And then I'm going to play this for a mountain. Fetch for a mountain. 1, 2, 3. Play another Magoose. And play Wrenn. Keep this train going. Now I can 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can Eternal Witness, get back Knight of Autumn, and replay it in the same turn. And we're looking to draw something like an Astral Drift or whatever. Oh, okay, you're coming from YouTube. That's awesome. Well, sweet. Welcome to the stream. One, two, three. That's an Eternal Witness. That's a knight of bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 mana. They have Ugin. You have to be kidding me. No. No. Can't really complain about that top deck though. Tell you that much. Can't complain too much about that top deck. Why play the land? Because we're gonna be stuck on colored mana, and I want to cycle. Like this, one extra line in Helix is not gonna be the difference between winning and losing, but getting one card closer to a Wrenn and 6 is going to be the difference between winning and losing. So I'd rather do that. Oh, really? They just slow rolled me for a million turns and they just had the big Karn. I should have gotten Sacred Foundry there, by the way. Oh yeah, a Bird of Paradise, exactly what I was looking for. Alright, took forever, we lost. See you later. Alright folks, welcome to round number 3. We just got owned by Tron, which is our worst matchup in the previous one, but this one's not bad. Seems like an okay opening hand. Giver of Runes. I guess they could have field. So I'm obviously going to lead on Utopia Sprawl. And I'm going to sprawl for white. So if I need to kill something, I can, like if my opponent plays an Arbiter, I can just play a Mountain. Although I guess I can't kill an Arbiter, never mind. Oh, it's Spirits? Spirits with Giver? What? Hey, oh. What am I getting with this Windswept Heath? A green-white source. Temple Garden. So I guess they have Spell Queller. I'm gonna give them a Wall of Blossoms. Because I definitely want to make sure that I get to untap to Eternal Witness. What's up, Rancid Flesh? Maybe it's core tribal. Exactly. I mean, Mutavault, it's basically a core, right? That's fucked up. We get to play Deep Forest Hermit next turn though. Unless my opponent has a way to blow up this. So that's nice. Seems like they don't have a way to blow up that. Nice spell queller, kid. Nice spell queller. Yeah, it's been a minute since we played this one. It's a fun little number, though. How's that spell queller, opponent? Got him! Can't quell this one. Can't quell that one. Sure, you get my land. Second arbiter. So I feel like this, I just have to play this out, right? Because with double arbiter, I'm just never fetching. And to be honest, the second giver is just devastating. I'm gonna get back to Helix, but Agar 1103, thank you for the follow. So we can use this turn to fetch, I guess. My opponent could have Spell Starter Sprite or Spell Queller to get rid of this Lightning Helix. How are we getting templed by a deck that plays Spell Starter Sprite? Because that's literally what Sprite does. Another Queller. Yep. Okay, so what are we looking for? This Deep Forest Hermit down. We're gonna be taking 5 in the air. Yikes. The second giver really messed me up. The second giver really made everything miserable. We were fine until that. Helix sounds good. Knight of Autumn. That's it. Oh, actually, Magus sounds very good against them. I guess Containment Bridge is also solid. Giver is so freaking good, man. Giver is so good. Yeah, nothing else really matters. Yeah, this is cool. It's funny how I'm playing Utopia's Pros precisely because I don't want my mana dorks to die to Lava Dart, and then I get paired against a deck that just messes with my lands instead of with my creatures. Feels bad, man. Sure, let's keep this. I'm gonna play these on turn 1 because I'm attempting to go for cheese. Did you mean Spaghetti Monsters? Yeah, you may have. Yeah, I'm feeling better, Colby. Thank you for asking. Yep. Now that I drew that especially, I'm just slamming this Magus like there's no tomorrow. Even though now we have a hand filled with uncastables, so does my opponent. The Cheese standalone with a tier 1 sub, coming back for 25 months. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold, Cheese. Appreciate the continued and never-ending support. Oh man, I made my opponent's Seacrum Coast enter untapped. Such a bad value. Blame Magus on my own acid again? No. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you are an acid again, but we're playing the one and only Astral Wrenn, which delivers these delightful experiences for your viewing pleasure. I also love how we're never ever flipping this Huntmaster again. We're never flipping this Huntmaster back. The good thing is that we don't need to. Like, this is probably just gonna be enough to win. Is this where the magic happened? Yes, that's exactly where it is. Also, that was wrong, because now that allows me to get in with the wolf. They should have given pro green. Now my Magus is open for attacks. Not that it matters. Like, this game is obviously very, very much over, but it would have been technically correct for them to do that. Look at this perfect hand. On the draw, I like birds a little bit better. Maybe over Containment Priest. Yeah. That was fun. That was fun. Not for my opponent, but it's definitely fun for me. 10 out of 10 will do again. The good thing is that at least I have hopefully what I would consider a clickbaity title, the most bugged game, the most bugged deck in Magic Online or something. What's for lunch? Got some chicken and some chicken over there with some like different forms of awesomeness. Keep this. What's the name of that? Peppers. Bell peppers. Morrones, sí. Pero estaba buscando la palabra en inglés. I'm just playing Wrenn on 2, right? Like if my opponent wants to go squatter me, like they're very welcome to do so. Feels like they're playing around my goose. Please go squatter me. Maybe they have Apparition here. Ether Sworn Canonist. That is a card. Blocks pretty effectively. Another bird. Sure. Let's make more mana. Oh, that's right, we can't because this card has text. Oh. Look at my opponent having cards with text and shit. Wasn't that a good time to jam Huntmaster? The problem is, I think that basically at all points, the main thing to be doing is to be developing my mana. Because that's how my opponent gets a chance at all. Is by somehow messing with my mana. Like if I am just enabling my game, I'm just like doing what I do, I can't really lose. Because what I'm doing is just so much more powerful than what my opponent is doing. So I feel like enabling and getting my engine going, making sure that I'm getting all of the value that I can. Seems like a better way to do things than just playing scared. Like if my opponent is just holding up Spell Queller, fine. We have a Helix in hand, right? So sure, like they get to path here, but we still got a Wolf out of the exchange. We got a path out of their hand. We still have our Thicket going. My opponent cannot pressure this Wrenn. TC, how's it going? Welcome everybody from this stream. We're playing some Modern here with one of my favorite brews. This is called Astral Wrenn. Wrenn and 6 plus cycling lands, plus this very interesting card called Astral Drift, which today we learned that it's super bugged on MTGO. Like it's super bugged and it's really annoying. But it's been fun. How was your stream, man? What were you working on today? So I'm just helixing the Canonist. Then we play land. 1, 2, 3. Ewit the Helix. Yes, we're gonna plus on the Thicket. And I could play Birds of Paradise here, but there's a possibility that my opponent's holding up a Spellstarter Sprite, and there's no reason for me to play into it, basically. So I'm just gonna chill here. Typical Winnie, nice. Gamble with Winata, lost some triggers, won some triggers. Sounds like a good time. Sounds like a really good time. Living that weenie life. Alright, can't block it. What do you get? Selfless Spirit. It's kind of annoying. But I guess it's fine. Alright. Buckle up. Buckle up. Because you're about to see some fireworks. This is why this deck is called Astral Wrenn. Alright, so what are we doing here? We can cycle Blink Eternal Witness. That gets us back the Lightning Helix. We can also cycle send out the Selfless Spirit. I think I'm gonna start off with this, which is probably gonna force my opponent to pop the Selfless Spirit here. This also stops my opponent's attacks. Opponent cracks the Selfless Spirit. Understandable. We have a cycle land in hand. We can serve right there. No need to take the shock, so I'm just gonna chill. We activated Wrenn already. At this point, I'm just surprised that my opponent has the will to keep going. So now we use the Wall of Blossom to block the Arbiter, and if my opponent gives it pro-green, we can just exile it if we want to, and we don't even care. Like, I don't want to ultimate this Wrenn. Like, I just want to keep plussing and keep drawing multiple cards. And now we're going to use Thicket to exile my Eternal Witness. We can buy this back, or we can buy the Thicket itself, and that draws us yet another card. We're just drawing 500 cards a turn at this point. Like nothing my opponent does matters anymore. Visual roll? No. Like, this deck is all about board control. It's not really so much about... it's not really so much about... So now my opponent's second main phase, I'm gonna cycle. This is gonna give me a blink. I'm gonna blink Eternal Witness. And I have to make sure that I do it in my opponent's second main phase, because this brings the Witness back on end step. So if I do it on my end step, then the Witness is not going to come back until the following end step. So definitely want to do this right now. We're going to Helix. Yes. Then we're going to Helix that. Opponent is probably going to get pro-white here. But the thing is that we're just going to use this turn to lock the game up with Magus. So just going to do 1, 2, pay for this. Fetch. Basic Forest. 1, 2, 3. My Goose. Play a bird. Pass the turn. And next turn we can deal with the Deputy. This deck is more about board control than board presence, I would say. But yeah. At that point, my opponent is just completely locked out of the game. Because next turn we were going to cycle Astral Drift, get back Eternal Witness. When we get back Ewit, we get back Lightning Helix, we Helix this. Helix, that brings back the Wrenn. Wrenn gets back Tranquil Thicket. We start exiling my own Eternal Witness again, etc, etc, etc. So this is what we call the engine is... is ready to go choo-choo. That was fun. All right, see you for the next one. Welcome to round number 4. So we can go, I'm going to keep this hand. We can go turn 1 Forest, Doppler Sprawler on red, turn 2 Cycle Cave, turn 3 Huntmaster, turn 4 Thrugtusk. What else could you want? Like, honestly, like what else could you want from life? Oh, we're playing against Burn? And Wrenn in 6? Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Wrenn would be pretty good. Kriegasm. So we're gonna name red here, pass the turn. Then we can play Wall. Eidolon would be annoying. Not gonna lie, Eidolon would suck for us. Take us no Titan to be blinked. I mean, that's a fact, yeah. That's an objective sentence. Simply an actual truth. Boros Charm. Then a Wall first. It's kind of interesting. I'd love to not have to shock for Huntmaster, but the good thing is that at this point I really want my opponent to play an Eidolon because he would do nothing. We learned in the first match that Astral Drift is actually bugged. Like you're supposed to take you're supposed to get value whenever you cycle it, but you don't. Which is pretty brutal, honestly. Light up the stage in Burn. Okay. I mean, I'm blocking. I don't love the fact that I'm blocking, but I'm gonna block. And note that knowing that this is bugged is going to alter my play here, because there's definitely a very strong argument for using this Astral Drift in order to not take 2 and be able to gain 2 from the Handmaster next turn. But because I know that this card is bugged, I am forced to do this instead. I'm gonna get a basic planes, I guess. I already have 2 sources, so... We're at 7, so if my opponent has Boros Charm, we're gonna be in trouble, but... We do have 2 blockers for the Swift Spear. Definitely I'm gonna be throwing the Wolf under the bus. What bug? Whenever you cycle this, you don't get to exile target creature. So this line of text is just not true. Whenever you play the Astral Drift and you cycle, yes, you do get the line of text to do something. Like you do get to exile your card and it comes back, or your opponent's card, I guess. But whenever you cycle Astral Drift, like the first sentence just does not apply. Like it's actually not true. File for comp. I'm gonna do it after the league. I'm not gonna do it right now, folks. Like you're just... It's probably a lot more interesting for us to, you know, keep playing the game. So my opponent only has Skewer the Critics here? Does that mean I want to get a little bit greedy? No, I guess I'd rather just blink Thruk Dusk anyway. That's nice. So... Basic Mountain... Thruk Daddy... Lee Thruk Daddy... And next turn we're going to get to play Astral Drift, and then we're going to be able to hold up 2 Cyclers. We're gonna do this after damage, second main phase, so we cycle now. Blink that. Maybe my opponent will kill it and I'll attempt to kill it in response. I think what's gonna happen is they're just gonna use Skullcrack, right? Skullcrack? No Skullcrack. So that should be game. Maybe I should have cycled again on upkeep. Thruk Daddy. More dudes that gain life. More cards overall that gain life. And ship it. Well, that's fine for comp mean. Whenever you have a problem, like whenever there's a bug on Magic Online, you get to file a complaint because your card is bagged or whatever. And they oftentimes reimburse you for the price of entry of the event that you lost because your card was bugged. Like I came into the league knowing that Astral Drift was bugged, but it ended up being that it's more bugged than I thought. Sheesh. I'm gonna keep this because I have 2 birds. If I only 1 bird, I would probably not keep this. Gobble, give me a basic forest. I'm just gonna go double green here, I think. And next turn we get to double birdie. It's brutal to have to shock though. Our deck is currently 24 lands. The smaller bug is that you don't get to choose the order in which your triggers resolve. So whenever you use a card like Astral Drift, you get to choose. I mean, all of the triggers go on the stack on the end step, but you as the active player, I mean, you as the controller of the triggers, you get to choose the order in which they come back. So this is particularly relevant because of the card Containment Priest, which right now is sitting in my sideboard, but it is a combo with Astral Drift, right? Like if you have a priest in play and you exile your opponent's creatures, the priest sees that the creature wasn't cast, so it just remains exiled forever. But you're also playing a game plan where you want to be getting value from your own creatures. So sometimes you find yourself in situations where you want to exile your Eternal Witness and your Containment Priest, and then you want your cards to basically come back into play in such a way that they allow you to get value from your cards, and we just can't do that. Just gonna go to 9 here. Was gonna ask on your YouTube video about what happened playing for Assassin Amulet, but the man himself is already here. What do you mean, Asmenstrassen? Kind of sucks, honestly. It's a very obvious skull crack. This allows me to path though, instead of shocking. Oh, you were gonna ask me the question? Ask away. What's the question? Bodos Charm. So I guess I'm just dead anyway. How long does it usually take between a bug being reported and that bug being fixed? Wall of Roots has been bugged for 6 years. So you do the math. 6 years and counting. What happened to playing for us as an amulet? Dryad got printed. That's what happened. How many 3-drops can you really fit in your deck? Knight of Autumn. Okay. Something tells me that we're maybe in a situation where my opponent just has me dead, but they're just fishing for info here. Like, that's just free information that they get access to. So, what is the bug with Wall of Roots? You can't use it to pay for wall. You can't use it to pay for core, basically. Do I want to draw the land here? I think the 4 life are just more relevant than the land here. Don't love to do that, but like this bird is my painless source of white mana, right? So this path is effectively giving my opponent land, but it's giving me 2 life. So If they have Skullcrack, I'm just picking it up, but this is 100% the correct play. Yeah, that's brutal. Yeah, you can't do both. Like whenever you are, when it matters the most, right? Which is usually when it's almost dead. The wall is almost dead. I mean, that's when you're supposed to be able to use it, but you just can't. So I guess there's no difference between being at 3 and being at 2. So I'm just gonna play this and I'm gonna cycle for a forest. Yeah. Wonder why players don't exploit the wolf. Because sometimes they don't just give the money to you, like they just don't give the entry fee to you, and it's a lot of time. Like if you really don't value your time and you'd rather have a bunch of moto tickets, you can do that, but like it seems like such an annoying waste of time that if I want revolt I can do it again, but like what am I getting back? I want to make sure I have more mana in case I find the Thrug Dusk off the top. Or that. Well, here goes nothing, I guess. Was I just being slow rolled here? Maybe not. Let's go. I mean, if you read the Renegade Rally, you're gonna see that it says cost 2 or less. It's particularly relevant in this scenario. Yeah. 2 or less is a big deal. So that couldn't have been their draw step last turn because they would have played it. So alright, so that's their hand. They got nothing left. So we're gonna go down to 1. But then we're just gonna get Knight of Autumn back. Play Rallier. Just gonna get back like a Bird of Paradise. It's kind of whatever. Play these stepped. Red, yeah, we'll name white here. We have one more cycle in case we need it. With this Astral Drift, again, Astral Drift is bugged. Just casually gaining 12 life with a single card, no big deal. But now I get to make it a little bit harder for my opponent to be able to do anything. Roiling Vortex. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to destroy that. So we're gonna just cycle this. We should be getting 2 triggers, but we're only gonna get 1 because of the bug. Can't gain life? Yeah, that's fine. That's not what I'm doing here. That's not what's happening, opponent. That's not what's happening. This is what's happening. Boop. Forgotten Cave. Swiss Army Knife this Night of Autumn, huh? Swiss Army Knife. Helix, yeah. That was really nice. That was a great display. We got lucky that we dodged my opponent. Like, any 3-mana burn spell would have killed me. But I guess my opponent drew a land and like a Swiss Spear or whatever. I don't remember what they could have drawn. But like we were down to 3 and my opponent cycled Sunbaked Canyon. And they couldn't find a 3-mana burn spell. But that's how the burn matchup always goes, regardless of which deck you're playing. They're always one burn spell away from killing you, and then we stabilize. Night of Autumn gained like 16 life and destroyed the Rolling Vortex. That was a good display for this card. All right, so it's see you for the last round. All right, here we go. Last round. We're 3-2 right now. Can we get a 4-1? Only one way to find out. How do we like this hand? In the blind. I think we can do better in the blind. I think I like this. I'm gonna ship the second Utopia Sprawl, but so now I get to, we go turn 1 Sprawl. In here. I guess I'm gonna name white. Too complex to fix. That was the excuse. All right, sounds good. So I didn't just want to jam a Renegade Rally into my opponent's Mana Leak mana, right? Maybe honestly I should have passed and just played Containment Priest end step because it just pressures them. They're playing Growth Spiral. That sucks for me. And they're also playing Valakut. Yeah, so we probably can't win this game 1, huh? Yep, can't win can't win this game 1. Okay, so just have to yam. Yep. So I guess if they play Valky here, like BTL for Valky, we can just back it up. What opponent is doing is pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad. It is not bad what they're doing over there. It's a bunch of mana going to waste, so that's not bad for us. Kind of sucks. Happy Splatter, thank you for the follow. Opponent confirmed that infinite life. That's also infinite mana. And that's enough. Yeah, they're just gonna escape shift me here. Hard cast bolt. Alright. Steam Vents and Windswept Heath. Okay. What are we doing here? Can we do anything? Wrenn and Drift? Nah, this is Astral Wrenn, baby. This is Astral Wrenn. Just your casual 9 power from a single card. Don't worry about it. Just 9 power. All the lands. It would be better if, yeah, it would definitely be sweeter if Drift wasn't bugged. Why does everybody always want to change my deck names? Goldfish. Everybody just always want to change my deck names. Folks, come on. Can I please be the one choosing my deck's names? Whenever you figure out your decks, I will let you choose whichever deck name you want. Any deck name you want, I'll let you have it. But whenever I'm the one building the decks, let me be the one who chooses. What's the wording I'm bringing to light? No, it casts from exile, so Cage doesn't stop BTL. Dumping Sphere against the ramp deck, probably not very impactful. Just go with this. Titan Valor was a pretty good name. Titan Valor was a pretty good name, wasn't it? One does not simply send back turn to a Wrenn, right? Friends don't let friends send back turn to a Wrenn. Astral Drift doesn't pay homage to what came before it. Astral Slide, exactly. Although this is effectively Astral Slide because the drifting part has been neglected. because of MTGO reasons. What do you think allows you to play more lands, be more helpful in this deck? Not that I'm interested in playing, because you wanna have 1-drops. You want 1-drops. You don't want more like random 2-drops because they just clog up your curve. It just doesn't work. Counter me, baby. My opponent says, oh! An oldie but a goodie. Yeah, remand is brutal there because it brings us to discard. I'm looking for Veil of Summer. Yeah, at least we have a window here. You got me. Is Astral Rift strictly better? Yes. But again, not in the current situation. Because it's bugged. Let's just resolve this. Pass the turn. Yeah, I guess that you're right. You still can cycle it, even though you're supposed to get value, but you don't. Yep. Lightning Bolt and Tranquil Thicket. Thank you for that follow, Adiv HD. Guess we actually want to land here. Pass the turn, we get to gain a couple more life. Get another token. Yeah, how's it going? Growth Spiral and Wooded Foothills for us. But they played land already. So when my opponent's tapped out, I'm gonna cycle. So I can exile this. Actually, maybe I should have exiled the Omnath so my opponent doesn't... Nah, that sounds bad. I mean, I guess both things are bad anyway. Because now my opponent's gonna have a bunch of mana. It's just basically impossible to raise. This deck is exceedingly fair. Yeah. Exactly. It's kind of a control deck. It's a board control deck. Like, it's not really a combo deck. It's a board control deck that has like a bunch of silly synergies. Notably, this doesn't cast, so like the fairy doesn't get in the way of my Huntmaster coming back here. Second Huntmaster School. Would be great to have some agency over this, but unfortunately we don't. Because now that we have two Astrals, what we could do is we could exile the Huntmaster and the Omnath. We can play the Containment Priest. We can choose in which order my opponent, in which order the triggers are gonna happen, and that would make it so the Wall of Blossoms can come back. Then I cast the Containment Priest, and then the Omnath trigger resolves. But unfortunately, we don't really have control over that, so I'm just gonna have to YOLO it a little bit and hope that it works out. Worst case scenario, we lose a wall, which is not the end of the world. Well, Magus is pretty sick there, actually. The problem is that if I do that, then what's his name comes back. Yeah, I guess I can't really answer everything. Also, I guess that my plan wouldn't work because there's a Teferi in place, so never mind. Maddie is coming back for the 13th month in a row. Tier 1 sub. Thank you so much, Maddie. Get a plains here or forest? Let's get a forest. So I can do W Sprawl here for white, and then play this. And now we just not get anything back, but at least we got rid of the Omnath. So I guess I just shouldn't exile. I shouldn't have exiled the wall at all. That was just a mistake on my part. Yeah, it was just a punt. Maybe I was still supposed to get Magus there. Oh, bring to light until the exile zone. That's just dead, right? Yeah, that's just dead. The thing is that we could have played Magus, but then my opponent just... like, they just minus with the Teferi. and like we're still dead to the Bring to Light. So we couldn't beat the Bring to Light nor the Scapeshift. Okay. Alright, so both of the matches that we lost were to the big mana decks, which we are very ill prepared to beat. Particularly because both Scapeshift and Tron kind of work on different axes. So like one of them you can stop with Damping Sphere, the other just Damping Sphere doesn't do anything against. So they kind of get attacked with very different cards. So that makes things very, very awkward in order to figure out a way to beat them. Also, I think both of those matchups are just not common at all. Even though it's the second time we play against Scapeshift today, both times we lost to it. The other one was with the Eldrazi deck. This was cool though. I didn't appreciate Gene Return, thank you for the follow. Avalanche Rider was in my original list and it wasn't good enough. There's a big difference between Ephemerate and Astral Drift. Like this triggers on your end step, or this triggers on end steps, which means that you get the value on your opponent's end step, while Ephemerate gives you the value immediately. So doing stuff like, okay, in response to the Echo trigger, like blink it and you blow another lane, like that kind of stuff works well with Ephemerate. Doesn't really work as well with Astral Drift, and I can tell you this because again, I had the card in my deck. Very often, it was just not fast enough. Like 4 mana versus 3 is just... Against Tron, is just the difference between winning and losing, right? Like against Scapeshift, I'd rather have... against Scapeshift, I'd rather have Avalanche Riders. Against Tron and Amulet, I'd rather have Blood Moon. That's basically where I ended up. So we have to say the odds are that the MDFCs and Xavier are going to be spell or back permanent at the front. High, low, I could see wizard creatures on front with spell backsides. Yeah, it's possible, Torber. I don't know. And I'm not too much into that kind of like speculation. I think it's not particularly... Like, it's probably fun, but like it's not really fun for me, and it's definitely not productive for anybody. So... Scapeshift puts us in a counter or race, so we're probably not welcome. Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. Will Umbrella were too expensive? Yes. That was fun though. I do like this deck. I think it's a lot of fun. There's a ton of silly interactions. Again, like the deck is bugged, right? So I'm probably gonna file for compensation, and I'm probably not gonna pick up this deck again for a while until like the previous bug I could kind of work through, but like the fact that I'm cycling this and I'm getting literally no blink trigger at all is just, it's too devastating to the deck's power level, right? Like even though we still managed to 3-2 somehow, but it's just too much of a hindrance to the deck's power level. So I'm just going to probably not play this deck for a minute until they fix that bug. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you hit that follow and subscribe button, that would be awesome. The like, subscribe button, leave me your comments in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.